Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Local Chat. I don't know if this music's too loud for you, but I'm gonna keep it going because it's pretty good and I found it on the internet today. This is episode 7? I think it's episode 7,
yes.
Where we talk about awesome things. God, this is the worst intro. Anyways, joining me today is a man who believes that fire is cold. It's Ian Gibson.
Look, all I'm saying is, if it was hot, they would call it hot. All right? But they don't. They call it fire.
Also, as a man who doesn't believe light is real, it's Save Data's David.
That's objectively not true.
No, I checked the Wikipedia. It's there.
Light's not real on my Wikipedia entry. Cool.
Yeah, it's a whole section. Like, really called it out. Gentlemen, I've assembled you here today because my lawyer said that was the right thing to do because we need to talk about video games. And I'm being sued for that. So, anyways, we're going to talk about video games today. We're going to talk about the hot shit you've been playing. Sorry for swearing.
That's the one.
That's the one
we get.
That's the one we get. But before we talk about the hot news, we talk about the hot what we've been playing. And I'm going to go first this week because I deserve it. Because that's what my one-a-day calendar says. So, one of the things I've been playing this week is Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I won't go too into depth about it because I know David also played it and we can talk about it there. But boy, I am A, terrible at that game, and B, it's such a fun game and I forgot how fun it is. I almost, before they announced this, I almost broke out my Wii U to play it again. But yeah. Also, the Bowser's Fury stuff, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen of it, seems pretty cool because it's kind of like open world Mario, which is interesting. So, that's kind of cool. Anyways, I've been playing that. It's very fun. Great game. Also been playing the usual Monster Hunter. I actually haven't been playing Last of Us. I got to go pick that back up.
I think you just drop it like every other Naughty Dog game. Just forget it exists.
Yeah, you know what? I should do that. You're right.
You talking the first Last of Us or the second Last of Us?
Second Last of Us.
All of them.
Okay, I don't disagree. The first one was good.
And it's a beautiful game. But the game I want to talk about is, fellas, I dug up my Nintendo 3DS XL, and lo and behold, for some reason, it was full of games I didn't even know I owned. It was just full of them.
Wow.
It was weird. I just turned it on and they were all there, which is so crazy. So I said, I should play some of these games. So I went onto the menu and I said, Dragon's Quest. I should play that because I'm starved for JRPG content. So
That's not the name of that game.
Dragon.
Yeah, not the name of it.
That hurt me so much right now.
There's no S. I know.
There's no S.
I was thinking Dragon's Dogma. Sorry, Dragon Quest. Sorry, Dragon Warrior. No, Dragon Quest 8. Journey of the Cursed King. I have started. I would like to make a public apology to Chris, who was... I couldn't tell if he was upset that I started playing it, but he seemed a little upset because we're doing the Chrono Trigger series. But I explained it as I cannot regulate this new passion in the year of the JRPG 2021 to just 2 hours a week. So he understood. And I walked in and I said, "Hey man, that Dragon's Quest 8's pretty great." And he goes, "Yeah, no crap. It's like you picked one of the best JRPGs to play." I was like,
yeah,
that's a good point.
It was either last week or the week before when you started talking about JRPGs, and we were talking about what you wanted to play next. And Dragon Quest VIII was the game I couldn't remember because Ben Moore and Michael Huber at Easy Allies say it's the best Dragon Quest game. And I was trying to remember which number it was, and it was 8. So you, as far as I know, having no experience with the series, you made the right choice.
Yeah, I've had a weird... I got the birth of the obsession with Dragon Quest, and I don't know where it came from, but I was like, I want to learn more about this, which delved into me playing that mobile game last week, and then I was like, you know what, I just got to play a Dragon Quest. David, it was Dragon Quest Tact is the mobile game, and it's It's
Didn't
okay.
know they had
It's like a
one.
tactical game, but it's also like every mission. It's like, hey, is it okay if we download the cutscene? And it's like it'll be like, please connect to Wi-Fi. I'm like, and it takes forever to load. I'm like, no. So yeah, so it's on my 3DS. I've been playing that. It's weird playing a 3DS in the modern era of gaming. But it's also nice because I just sit on the couch next to Karen while she's playing Dead by Daylight, and I'm like, instead of on my computer, I'm just sitting on my 3DS. So that's like, it's fun couples time where we don't pay attention to each other, but we're within the vicinity of each other.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. I don't want to communicate.
Yeah.
That's really fun. The story's really great. It like starts in media res, and it's really cool. And it's pretty good at like teaching me the JRPG mechanics. It's not active battle system, which I don't hate, but it's nice to like get the like turn-based sort of stuff. Because I think I'm really digging that. But anyways, I'm like 14 hours in. I started on Saturday. It's pretty good. It's too easy to pick up and put down. Just because like they added so many like you can quick save and you don't have to run back to the church to save. So
Yeah, or even just close the 3DS.
yeah,
You
that
know,
too, which
it's
terrifies me all the time. So yeah, I've been playing that a ton. I apologize to Chris for starting another JRPG. Oh, it's so good.
Don't apologize to him. He
Yeah.
doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve that.
That's so true. There's something else I was gonna say about it, but maybe I'll remember it after everybody else. David, do you want to talk about what you've been playing?
Sure. I'll start with the non-Super Mario 3D World, and we'll do that last. So I started playing the Titanfall 2 campaign just a couple days ago. I'd never played it before. I've just heard, hey, it's one of the best shooter campaigns you'll ever play. And so far, it's pretty true. It's a pretty absolutely great game.
Yep.
Absolutely great game. The shooting
They
is
weren't
so
lying.
good. No, like the shooting's great. It's weird playing Apex and then playing Titanfall because
Yeah.
I'm picking up guns and I'm like, oh, this is from Titanfall.
Yeah.
And it's every gun. Like, I was expecting like a couple, and it's like, oh no, it's literally every single gun is from Titanfall 2. That is in Apex, like all of them. So it's kind of cool having that familiarity with the guns without having ever actually played Titanfall. That's pretty fun. The wall running's great. Like the platforming parts feel good for the most part. Your relationship with your mech that I can't remember the BT. I can't remember like the official what they called. Oh, they're Titans. I'm an idiot.
I didn't remember it until you said it. So
Oh, the Titans in Titanfall are called Titans. Your relationship with that mech is just cool and not something I expected. I now, after playing this game, I really want them to make like an Armored Core or a Gundam next, which isn't gonna ever happen, but
Ooh.
I wish they would. It would be awesome. I think that's it. I'm not super far in the campaign yet, so I can't talk too much about it. And then last time I was on here, I had just started playing Tales of Fantasia, and I'm still playing Tales of Fantasia. That game is a slog.
You're telling me you didn't finish a JRPG in less than a week? Or two?
No, I think I have like 15, 16 hours into it, which is
Wow.
close to what you have in Dragon Quest VIII. And man, it's rough. I'm committed to finishing it because I'm gonna play all the Tales games, but boy, this one kind of sucks.
oh, you did. I'm
Don't go
glad,
back and
you're
forth.
on. Because I was just thinking the other day how one of the JRPGs that Will should play is something you brought up last time, Persona 5 Royal. I feel like
Oh yeah.
that is it's a big time commitment, but you don't even have to finish it. Like I only got 2/3 of the way through it and I still thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's
That's a fantastic
$120.
JRPG.
Honestly, Chris and I were going over not during our lunch break. We were going over the JRPG list that I put together, and I'm using the how long to beat as like the average completion time because it's generally pretty close.
Pretty accurate, yeah.
So I made a hard rule that anything over like I think it was 30 hours, I'm not gonna pick because it's just gonna be too long. But then we were also thinking if there's certain like staples like Persona 5 or stuff like that is over that mark, then if he's already played it, it's basically, hey, this is the next point we start streaming at. So if you need to go grind or you need to go do this and like leave it to like the story bits and stuff. So so definitely on.
But I mean, I wasn't even thinking about streaming it because that would be a massive stream considering your average JRPG streams are what, 1 to 2 hours. So just in terms of JRPG enjoyment, Persona 5, that's my first Persona game, and it has so much style and it brings so much to that genre that it's worth playing on its own. It's not just another JRPG. It's a fantastic iteration of it.
And you would recommend 5 over 4?
Yes.
I didn't play 4,
okay.
so
I would recommend 5 is the best one.
5 is okay.
To give you an idea, I binged Persona 5 Royal in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I played 120 hours in 3 weeks.
Wow. That's too much.
That's your job. That's literally
I had a week off in there, but yeah, like, as much as my job. It was great. I love that game. It was fantastic. So I will never tell you not to play that game, but it is a time commitment. You gotta know that you're putting in.
I think
hours.
That's the problem. Is like I keep like all the games on my list right now are story games, so I don't have any like podcast games I can tuck in there. So that's like my huge problem. But I think if it's the year of the JRPG.
I'll just play more JRPGs. Gotta stick a Tails game in there.
Yeah, I love Sonic, so definitely gotta stick a Tails game in there.
Why hasn't there been a Tails RPG that is actually a Sonic game? That would be amazing.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I wouldn't. Sonic is bad.
Yeah.
Last thing. Also started playing Super Mario 3D World. I think I'm in World 4 or 5. I want to say. I have never played this game before, so I didn't play the Wii U one. I'm enjoying
David,
it.
Just real quick, I want to chastise you based on your answer to this question. Did you own a Wii U?
No.
How dare you? Wii U's a great console. That's enough.
You're
That's
wrong.
enough for me. You can continue.
You're objectively wrong.
It's a great Switch prototype.
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to dive down this too much, but I feel like the Wii U did not have like a huge catalog, but it definitely had enough like 10 to 15 solid hits for you to purchase.
Oh yeah, but
for you to purchase the console and enjoy it.
As someone
But it
who
took a while to get there.
as someone who was into video games at the time, I didn't know the Wii U was a new console. I thought it was a new Wii. Type
I think
of
it
Wii.
was time that came out around PS3 gen, right? Am I crazy? Or was that
Wii U was 2012?
Yes, 2012 was the Wii U release date.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even playing any console games back then, so that's why I didn't have a Wii U. I played up through like the PS2 GameCube gen, and then I fell off because I didn't have any money. So I had a laptop, and I used that to play games. And then, like recently, the past probably like 4 years ago, I started to get back into consoles again.
Okay, that's fair. That's a valid excuse.
That's pretty much about the same with me. Like I played through 360, and then it was from like 2009-ish to 2015 when I bought an Xbox One is when I got back into consoles. So
yeah, I think it was probably 2015-ish for me, maybe in 2016, and I bought a PS3 then to catch up on games before I bought a PS4.
You know, it's weird that you mentioned it because now that I think about it, I owned consoles before, but the Wii U was the first console I owned that I probably bought more than 5 games on it because I could actually afford to. Like I had a 360, but I had maybe 3 or 4 games total because I just could not afford them.
Yep.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack. It's just Wii U, underrated console.
The console was garbage. It had some really good games though.
Yeah, and that's why I tweeted about this earlier this week. Was part of me is so happy that people are enjoying Super Mario 3D World, but a slightly larger part of me is like, you would have enjoyed it on the Wii U too. It's the same game and it was incredible on that console. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Didn't buy a Wii U.
I don't think the Wii U version had Bowser's Fury. I'm sorry.
It did.
Not that I've played that part yet. Super Mario 3D World. I'm having fun. The cat suit is very enjoyable. It's the best part of that game. honestly, I think it's too good that it makes everything else in that game feel like pretty bad. Like, I don't need the fire flower. I don't need the Tanuki suit. Just give me the cat suit. I don't need any other power ups.
Yeah.
So in that sense, meh. And like I'm enjoying it not as much as some of the other more recent Mario games. I enjoyed Odyssey more than I am 3D World for sure. But I'm having fun with it still.
Yeah.
I only started playing it. I got the cartridge physically, and then my power went out the next day. So it's just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna play this on my Switch till the power comes back on.
Oh, and the Captain Toad stuff. Oh, Captain Toad.
I mean, I could
near and dear to my heart.
could live with or without that, honestly.
Oh,
Captain Toad,
good.
another fantastic Wii U game. It was only $40. Fantastic $40 Wii U game. Incredible.
Anyways,
Great console.
folks, call the number on your screen. We'll send you a Wii U for the low price of $500.
How much are they right now?
Hey, you want to hear my Wii U tool tip for buying one? Purchase one and split it with your ex, and then when you break up, she just gives it to you. Then you only pay for half of Wii U. It's super cheap.
All right.
Cheap.
According to GameStop, the 8 GB version, which you should not get of the Wii U, is $120, but it's only $150 for the 32 GB version. So the Wii U you should definitely get.
Also,
I mean, this is good.
All the games are on Switch now. Don't buy a Wii U. Like,
What? I don't mean to segue, but
Zombie U.
I've been playing my Nintendo Wii because I dug it out and I hooked it up to play some games, and it has nothing on it. I think I have just like Wii Sports and Rogue Squadron. And I was like, I want to put more games on here. So I've been soft modding my Nintendo Wii. And something that my research has told me is that the Wii U is actually an incredible emulation system because it runs Wii and GameCube, and it runs the N64 PlayStation era really well. And you can run it entirely on the tablet, and it's completely easy to soft mod. So the Wii U is actually surprisingly the best like emulation HDMI ready thing that you can buy on the market right now.
You know, much
And
like
just another
my
PC.
3DS, I woke up one morning and my Wii U was just full of games. It was crazy. I was just like, what? Santa?
It's weird though because like it's so interesting exploiting the Wii because basically the method I used had me create a file using a website. Basically, I just took the MAC address for my Wii and I put it into a website and it downloaded a file for me. And then I put that file on an SD card and I put it in the Wii. And then the Wii just goes, "Hey, you have a new message," because I forgot there's like a messaging system in the Wii. And you go to the message and you click on it and it just goes, and just all this like, console pops up and it's just like cracking your Wii, and then it's done. And it's like, that's awesome. All these exploits.
Sorry, I was just gonna say my 3DS. I had to connect to like a DNS server and all this stuff, and it like
Oh, yeah.
downloads stuff. But yeah, it does have like command line stuff, and you're like, oh, what am I doing?
It's happening. But it's crazy because then I was also able to back up my NAND on my Wii, so I can't even brick it now. Because if I do brick it, I can just put the SD card back in and like copy my Wii back to itself. But I will say the big problem I have with it is that I kind of want it to be like a RetroPie, where there's just a single interface and it boots into that interface and it just has all your ROMs across all your systems and it's like a Netflix library, click and play. But it turns out it's very, very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And it takes like 20 different installers and it barely works half the time. And half the websites are gone because they're from 10 years ago. So it's just kind of frustrating. So it's interesting to go down that soft mod path. It's the first time that I've really done that to a console versus just making a RetroPie. But that's honestly, that's kind of the only game that I've been playing is just messing around with that and getting that up and running, because I feel like there's a lot of GameCube and Wii games that I missed that it's now going to be easier for me to go back to. But I guess the short answer is I should have never gotten rid of my Wii U, because it turns out that would have been a lot easier to put everything on that, because there's some N64 games that don't run on the Wii very well that run fantastically on the Wii U. So
yeah, I haven't actually done it to my Wii U yet, but I've been on a couple sites about soft modding it, because it's just like, because you literally open like the Wii emulator and like you emulate the Wii, which then you inside the Wii emulator that's already on the Wii U, you can add GameCube games.
Yeah.
So it's like they built that within mind. I wonder if that console was more successful, how big that virtual console would have gotten, like even more expansive.
I don't know,
but
because the thing is, the Wii in the Wii U, it's literally just running a Wii emulator, so it's not good in terms of like user interface. Because
Yeah.
you're on the Wii U and you're like, okay, I want to play virtual console games or whatever, and then it's like, okay, well, first we have to take you into the emulator of the previous generation, and you have to mess around with that. The Wii interface is not great, and you have to deal with that interface, and then to go back to previous generations in the virtual console, which is the legal way to do it. So
that's
it's
true.
still not great. I feel like the pinnacle of emulator hardware is the RetroPie, because it makes it so easy and it throws it into an easy to use interface, even though you got to finagle with it a little bit to get it set up. But yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. All this soft modding hacky. It's cool stuff.
A question I'm going to pose to lead us into the news is, why do you think Nintendo isn't just releasing all the old things on the Switch?
They're idiots.
Like, do you think like, is there like because I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh, is it like not a pride thing? Like, that's the wrong word, but it's like, oh, we don't want to just like, I mean, we don't want to just pump all this stuff out so people are lost in it, like stuck in the past. We don't want people to be stuck playing old games or something like that.
But
Nintendo
I think part of it
monetizes your past more than any other company in existence.
That's true.
I think I'm not saying this is what they're doing, but this is just an explanation that I could possibly buy, is that they're doing the Disney Vault thing, where they realize that just having a virtual console with these games available all the time, they may not get as many sales, whereas if they package them together like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, these games that people would normally not buy, or maybe they would buy at $10, $15, now all of a sudden they're getting $60 a pop from people for these 3 games. And so I think maybe they're trying to go into that model. The reason why I'm hesitant to say that is because they haven't even really gone into that model. They have just done nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird. I don't know. I honestly, I think the best explanation I can come up with is that they are underestimating the demand for that. And I think part of that has to do with Japanese video game culture, is that they are constantly playing retro games. There's no such thing as a retro or vintage console in Japan, because it's normal for people to still have their old consoles hooked up and to continue to play those old games. So I think they have a very Japan-centric mindset of, we don't need to bring the old games to the new console because people are still playing them on the old console. That's kind of their assumption.
Yeah,
That's my
they
best
do
guess.
still have a thriving old game market. Like,
Yeah.
there is literally a famous store in Akihabara called Mr. Potato that just has like 5 floors of old games, and there's always people in there all the time.
I want to go there.
It's very
cool. So leading into the news, I had a new news theme. Here we go. Everybody, get ready. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let me make it louder. There, it's a little bit louder. There's also this one.
That was not bad.
You think that's better? Okay.
I wish it was longer, but not bad.
Yeah, I was trying to find things, like I didn't know what the right time. Anyways, the news, folks. We're gonna start this off right, and by right I mean talking about the Nintendo Direct from yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday.
Yes.
What a night. I mean, it wasn't a nightmare. It was the first one since September something, 2019. September 4th.
532 days since
Wow.
the last
That's
normal
crazy.
Direct.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So David, I'm curious, what was your 1 or 2 top announcements, the things that surprised you or got you the most excited from this?
Ooh, Project Triangle Strategy working title.
Looked pretty good.
Number 1, 100% from that. I didn't expect it, and it was, not only did I not expect a game from the Octopath people, I also didn't expect it to basically be Final Fantasy Tactics, but newer and better and looking so much cooler. And I love the Final Fantasy Tactics games, so give me it. Very excited about that one. and surprisingly excited about Mario Golf.
Yeah.
I've never played a
Yes.
Mario Golf game, and it looked like speed golf just looked really entertaining to play with
Yeah.
people. Like, I'm not gonna play that game alone, but man, speed golf will be a hectic nightmare of fun to play and stream and stuff. So I think those are my
Yeah.
big two.
There's something about like the Mario sports series where they give you just enough of the actual sport behind it, but they also add enough arcade and like charisma and flair on top of it that you're like, I would never play a Tiger Woods game, but sure, I'll play a golf game that's got Waluigi in it and it's got some weird stuff going on and is cutesy. You know, it's like a sports game for non-sports fans, and I really enjoy that about the Mario sports stuff.
I don't know what it is about golf games, but I love golf video games. Other outside of the like Tiger Woods, like I've never played those, but like Golf Story is incredible. Desert Golf, Golf is it Golf on Mars is the new one. There's a bunch
What
of
the Golf
golfing
is
apps.
great.
What the Golf we
the
met
Golf?
what's his face and in Iceland, great guy. What there's another one I was thinking of, but anyways, very much looking forward to that. And I also agree, like the thing you like plus a thing you might not like but can discover you like is a great thing that Mario does. Like Mario Tennis, although I didn't own it, I played that demo a bunch, and different stuff like that. Even like the Mario and Sonic Olympic stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't really care about an Olympics game, but chuck Mario in it and he's pole vaulting with Bowser, and then suddenly it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I like the story mode thing for Mario Golf too. That gave me huge nostalgia vibes for Mario Tennis and Mario Tennis 64. So they had, I don't know if you guys did this, they had a Game Boy Color, it must have been at the time. They had a Game Boy Color Mario Tennis game that had a story mode, you made your own character and all that jazz. And if you had the transfer pack, you could hook it into Mario 64 and like bring your character over to Mario 64.
Oh wow.
Which was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And like in the US, they didn't even come out at the same time. So it was like, how did they do this?
That makes me think of the
That's
like
awesome.
huge charts of how to get your Pokemon from the original to like the new one. It's always like there's someone figures out there's still a way to do it, which is incredible to me. But
Oh
gosh.
boy. Yeah.
Other hot announcements, Splatoon 3, anyone excited?
Woo! God, man, Splatoon series. Look, I know I need to talk about this because apparently Will doesn't like Splatoon.
No,
but it's beautiful, and here's why. Because Splatoon is such a very simple, like stupid, throw an idea on the whiteboard type of game. It's like, what if it's a shooter, but it's really about painting the arena than it is about getting kills? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess we could make that work. And then Nintendo knocks it out of the park, creates this whole game that's like very well done, so much charm, so much charisma. It plays so well. It has so much gameplay variety in it with the different weapon types and maps, etc. It has great single player modes, which are admittedly just a tiny bit short, but they still offer a lot of variety, a lot of different challenges. I'm so excited for Splatoon 3. It's going to be, if it's anything like the previous two, it's going to be a great game.
I thought that like teaser with like the post-apocalyptic stuff was cooler, like way cooler than just another Splatoon. Like if that turns into
like
a
an
whole
open
thing,
world.
like I can see that pulling me in enough to play Splatoon multiplayer. Just like I play back when I played Destiny, it was enough to pull me in to be like, oh, maybe I'll play some Crucible matches, like that sort of thing. But as far as just like straight Splatoon stuff, I like Splatoon. Like it plays really well. It's a really good game. It's same with like Overwatch. I just don't want to play a multiplayer game that much. Like I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm not a busy person. I'm a disgusting human. But
Yeah.
it's just I don't want to spend all that time playing Splatoon 3 when I can play JRPGs in the year of the JRPG.
Yeah.
Good news.
I think
Splatoon comes out the year after the year of the JRPG.
Oh, perfect.
That's
The
true.
year of the
It's the year of
JRPG too.
Yeah, I will just say, to agree with you, I think if you're going to play that game just for single player, it's not a $60 game. It's maybe a $30 or $40 game. It's not a $60 campaign. And I really wish they would bump that up because I'm just like you where I'll play a little bit of multiplayer, but really I'm more about the single player campaign. And so it would be nice to see them flesh that out a little bit more to have a $60 worthy single player game.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, I didn't even know Splatoon had single player. I just
It's pretty
assumed
good.
it
Yeah, because we were talking about this on the Discord. The first one, the second one single player was much more than the first one single player, right?
The second one had it a little bit longer, but it's still mostly the same. Like basically they drop you it's like an extended tutorial in a way where like they'll give you a roller brush and they'll be like, "Hey, here's how you use the roller." And then you go through this level and there's like different challenges with the level, like here's enemies jumping up and down, etc. But then they iterate on it. So they're like, "Okay, now you got to use this challenge. Now you got to do it in 30 seconds. Now you have these 3 different crazy enemies." But it's definitely a single player. It's just not horribly long. You could probably beat it in maybe like 4 or 5 hours.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely a single player campaign. It's pretty good.
Okay. Moving on. Anybody into Smash Bros. Ultimate? More than just playing Smash Brothers.
Not in a while. The announcement didn't do anything for me because I don't play Xenoblade either.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, it's cool. I'm sure that's for some people.
I was like,
it's
confused.
funny though because like right before the announcement, I was like, you know what Smash really needs is another stupid person with a sword. And they did it. They brought another stupid unknown person with a sword, and it's like, you know.
In the Giant Bomb live stream, I think Jeff Gerstmann was just like, "Oh, a character with a sword? That's gonna add so much."
I know.
Like they've never done that before.
It's great. Yeah,
I like Smash. Was another Fire Emblem.
Some of these character choices are like, remember when they announced Duck Hunt? I was like, yeah, mix it up, right?
I mean, even this whole fighter pass, I think, has been pretty innovative and cool up until
because it was. Oh right, it was Steve. I'm reading it now. Min Min's not a bad pick.
Like Sephiroth is just cool for reasons. Like
I love King.
Mechanically, meh, but.
So it was neat. Also, like, as someone who's never played Xenoblade, I was like, "Oh, this game looks really cool. What is this game gonna be?" And then they don't say it all, and I'm like, because I think I asked in the save data chat, I'm like, "What game is this person from? I want to know what this game is."
I know.
Like, just tell me that.
Maybe you should play the first Xenoblade Chronicles.
I was thinking there was like giant space whales. I love space whales.
It's supposed to be like one of the best JRPGs ever.
Because I remember when I first got started collecting games, I was like, there was a copy of Xenoblade. I was like, "Oh, how much is this stupid game?" And it was like $300 at the time. I was like, "Oh,
that's one of those games that's hard to come by." They did the definitive edition on Switch though.
Did they? Okay.
If I'm okay, I'm gonna look this up real quick, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, you know what? Let me just. I'm gonna look this up. If I'm pretty sure. Okay. Look, if I'm not mistaken, Xenoblade Chronicles came out. It didn't sell very well, at least in the US, so that's why there were a limited number of copies. And then GameStop itself obtained the publishing rights to Xenoblade Chronicles. So for a while, they were printing their own versions of it. I need to confirm this.
That's what their stocks are. Is just copies of Xenoblade.
Went down because definitive. That's right.
Yeah. While Ian researched this, we'll move on to everyone's favorite Zelda game, Skyward Sword. Shout out to, I named this on YouTube. I named it the best Zelda game in HD. And shout out to SodaPop67 who commented before the stream even started, Breath of the Wild is already in HD. Which is my favorite thing. Anyone got feelings on this?
I'll probably play it now.
That was my exact thought. I have never played it. I will probably play it now because at first I was like, "Oh no, motion controls, the Joy-Cons."
I'm still a little concerned at their solution for the motion controls.
Yeah, and then but at least it's there because my brain went, "Oh, Switch Lite, you can't take the Joy-Cons off, so they have to have something." And it seems like that would be good. I mean, the worst thing I've heard about that game, not the worst thing, but like it's just that tutorial is so long. So I wonder if having not motion controls will kind of alleviate that. But also, why not? Why? I mean, this is the Zelda year, so maybe they'll bring the other stuff. But why aren't they?
They might be waiting for the Mario stuff to end. Because like they didn't even mention it was Zelda's 35th anniversary. So my guess is they're waiting for Mario's to be officially finished at the end of March, and
That's
they kill
true.
Mario,
Yeah.
and then I mean the games are you can't buy the game the All-Stars anymore after March 31st. It's gone to time.
I thought maybe yesterday they were going to be like, and the Super Mario 35 stuff we're extending, like something
No.
like. Do you really think they're just gonna? I guess it is Nintendo.
Yeah,
I think they will.
They are. I mean, I forget if it was you or Ian earlier made the Disney Vault comparison. Like that's some Disney Vault crap
Yeah.
right there.
Gosh, I hate that so much.
I will say,
Next direct,
I'm really-
we'll get Zelda stuff.
I'm really glad they announced Skyward Sword because literally yesterday morning I was like, well, now that I have a Wii, maybe I should play some Wii games that I missed, like Skyward Sword. But now I can just hold on a little bit for the Switch version. I do have some breaking news for the Xenoblade Chronicles GameStop story.
Ooh.
Let me take you through a little bit here. So GameStop was the exclusive physical retailer for Xenoblade Chronicles in the US. And this is an article from December 13th, 2011. GameStop reached out to Nintendo in an effort to bring Xenoblade to America. GameStop is aiding with publishing costs. This is an anonymous source, never fully confirmed, but basically it's definitive. GameStop had the only retail copies of Xenoblade Chronicles for the US. 2013, an article in Kotaku from Jason Schreier, which notes that one GameStop source tells us the retailer printed a few thousand copies of the game with no shrink wrap in order to restock their inventory, then labeled them as pre-owned and sold them for $90. So
Wow.
yes, so there is some crazy where it was very hard to find a copy, and then GameStop was basically overcharging and labeling new games as pre-owned that they were printing themselves.
But they were selling above new game price.
Yes,
That's
they were like, we can print new
insanity.
copies and sell them as new for $60 MSRP.
I wonder if they've done that for other games, because like I know Fire Emblem Path of Radiance had a similar thing where there were very, very few copies of that game, and they rose up to like $100 pretty fast.
Yeah, but they'd have to have the publishing rights to it so that they could control printing in the US.
Yeah,
That's part of it.
Uh,
Which I think they did. Wasn't there that Song of Sea game or whatever that GameStop was publishing?
Yeah, they published it. It was an Insomniac game.
Yeah, so they could have done that. They could have done it with that, theoretically.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You saying replaying games on the Wii made me think. I was packing up all my games for moving, and I realized I had the HD remastered version of Twilight Princess on the Wii U, which I have not played yet, because when I originally played Twilight Princess on my Wii, I was like 65% done with the game, and my save corrupted. And I was like, you can't just start a Zelda game over. So I have never finished Twilight Princess. And then I think I might have the remaster of Wind Waker, or I might have the original of Wind Waker, but I need to play that game as well, because
I feel like I get a lot of hot takes this evening. I just want to say I don't want to play Twilight Princess because it doesn't look like a Zelda game. It looks like an emo tryhard game. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Don't like that art style. It's not good. It's not good.
I mean, it's pretty similar. It's a little similar to Skyward Sword.
It's very similar to Skyward Sword, just darker.
Yeah. That's the problem. It's darker. Yeah.
Ian doesn't like goth. He hates goth.
And then when you clean up the stuff, it's not dark anymore.
Yeah,
So I
you're
didn't like
clearing the dark.
Goth in it.
Yeah, and that's why he loves Factorio. There's so much goth in Factorio.
No, there's no goth.
No, there's a lot of goth. You go both sides. You play both fields.
Go both sides.
Okay, Mario Golf we talked about. Project Triangle Strategy, I just want to say, also looks really good. All the screenshots I've seen of Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together, that I've seen, I was like, oh, this is just that game. So I heard impressions of the demo were pretty good, other than the voice acting.
Shocker.
I can't confirm that. But,
Game.
oh man, the voice acting in Dragon Age is incredible.
Dragon Quest 8.
Sorry, Dragon Quest. I'm just saying the wrong game now.
It's probably really bad in Dragon Age as well.
Yeah, true. Sorry, Dragon Quest 8. Sorry, Dragon's Quests 8. Voice acting is really bad, but also great. Also, Akira Toriyama, calm down. with the character designs because they look stupid.
Don't calm down. Don't calm down.
No, they're not bad. Just everyone's is good except for the main character who just has anime eyes for some reason, but no one else really has anime eyes or looks. Anyways, I know Ian's excited for Star Wars Hunters, the Zynga game.
No, I'm not. That game comes out on Nintendo Switch, Android, and iOS. That's right, folks. It's a free-to-play, horribly monetized crapshoot game. Don't play it, period. I do want to talk a little bit about the other basically immediately forgettable game that was shown called Knockout City, which had one of the most confusing trailers I have ever seen because it just kept showing characters from other franchises that I don't think are even accessible to the people making Knockout City.
No, they were being interviewed, Ian.
About playing this game?
Very clearly an orc from WoW.
Yeah. Was it Carrie? I think it had Carrie or whoever it is from StarCraft Ghost. Was her? Or was she supposed to be Samus?
I thought she was supposed to be Femship.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
Oh.
It was just like.
And then they had like the operator from like CS:GO is what I assume.
Or even like Rainbow Six. Yeah. And then they're just talking about it and talking in like some weird interview setup. And then they just show a real mediocre game that doesn't star any of them. And you're going, oh, it's famous video game characters giving an interview about playing a really horrible, mediocre game that is not tied to their franchises in any way whatsoever. I don't even think it's the same publisher. So I can't wait to see them get sued into oblivion. Not because I enjoy copyright enforcement, but because they should be punished for putting a trailer like that out. That was bad.
Yeah, that marketing team, I would be surprised if all of them came out of that with a job.
Yeah.
Speaking of showing nothing, they did that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC, but it was just like 3 pictures and then a 5-second picture of like the classic, like all the DLC that comes with it that you could not read. And it was like, they didn't even show the game because Karen was watching it with me and she's like, oh, what's Hyrule Warriors? I said, oh, it's like a Musou game, like a Dynasty Warriors. She's like, oh, cool. And it like goes away. I was like, I wanted her to see what that looked like. And is there anything else on this list you guys want to talk about?
While we're calling out, biggest disappointment of the Direct by far, and what I think in my history of watching Nintendo Directs is one of their biggest crimes ever, was when they brought in the creator of Zelda just to say,
that was bad. Yeah, that was bad.
We will not be talking at all about Breath of the Wild 2. Thank you. And then he walked out. And it was like, you just gave like so much hype and hope and then just dashed it immediately. You had to know what you were doing. I can't believe they did that.
I don't know why they did that. That was one of the dumbest things I've seen them do.
I was like, just simply just have someone else say it. And like, there's no reason to have him there. He should be working on the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the last thing I want to bring up, Ninja Gaiden Collection.
Oh, yeah.
I never owned an Xbox, so that was actually very cool for me to see, and I'll get to play those finally. So I'm very happy about that.
I watched my friend in middle school beat one of the Ninja Gaiden Xbox ones, and that was really cool because there was a lot of blood. So yes, very looking for it. Yeah, I think that's it. There's something else I want to call out, but I don't remember what it was. Anyways, exciting times with Nintendo. Bringing back some games.
I'm sorry.
Announcing new games.
There is one thing.
There's one more thing from the Ian of the Gibsons.
Stubbs the Zombie and Rebel Without a Pulse is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Apparently, that is running on the Halo engine, which means there's a possibility that some of the Halo games end up on the Switch.
Did you see how bad that game looked? Did you want that?
I will say it did run like that game was marketed as the same engine that as Halo 1. Not like
yeah.
Okay, I didn't want you to think it is like modern Halo engine.
Halo 1 on Switch.
I mean, I'd play it.
And they brought Ori over to Switch, so there's precedent for Microsoft bringing their quote-unquote exclusive games onto another console.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good on you, Nintendo. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about some good stuff. I just wanted to shout this out quick while I was thinking about it. Metro Exodus PC Enhanced Edition. This caught my eye only because I played a lot of Metro Exodus on my Xbox. Sorry, they also announced the PS5 and XS upgrades. And I stopped playing it because it wasn't running very great. And now they're coming out with the upgrades, and that makes me very happy. They said within this year. I think PC, they gave a date, and then PS5 and XS, they said this summer, or they might have said late spring. Let me just double check the article. Also, they put out a handy dandy thing of saying everything that's coming to it. And the only things that aren't coming to the console editions are the advanced ray tracing and the support for DLSS. But other than that, great ray tracing. And Metro Exodus already had some ray tracing stuff on PC because they were one of the first games that had that stuff. So that's exciting. I'm excited that it's coming out. I like the Metro games a lot, and I want to give Exodus its second chance running very well on my Xbox Series X. That should be good. David, anything on this list of news stories or anything in your brain that's in the news that you want to talk about?
One thing that is just finally, this is what I wanted. First look at Microsoft's xCloud for the web. So once all this COVID stuff is done and we can all travel again, this is what I want xCloud for. I want to be able to take my laptop somewhere, hook it up to a TV, or just play on the monitor and play whatever I want and not need to have stuff installed on it. So this is what I actually wanted the entire time from xCloud. Mm-hmm. So getting a first look at it, being like finally confirming that it's real and it's coming. That's all I wanted from xCloud. So I'm very happy. I played a little bit of it on my phone in the beta, and it was honestly surprisingly good. It was just like phones for me were too small of a form factor for a lot of the games. It's like,
yeah.
I tried playing DMC5 on that, and I was like, I can't see what is going on. This is not a good experience.
All I know is I have a combo.
Yeah, on a laptop it'll be fine though. So
yeah,
this is what I want.
That does bring up a good point though, which is with xCloud, you can now play Xbox games on your PC without owning an Xbox. Basically,
you already could. There's a Microsoft Xbox app on your PC. You can buy a lot of the Xbox games.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is an Xbox only game you could not play on the PC. But now with xCloud, you can.
Yes.
xCloud,
all the first party Microsoft games are now both platforms all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, some older ones, there's
some of the games that are in Game Pass.
Correct.
Not to be
that are also on xCloud.
I believe there is a separate category for Game Pass for Android, iPhone, which is equivalent to xCloud. So I don't know that will always be true, but there will be at least some that you'll be able to play now on PC.
My point being,
owning it.
Yeah. My point being, there are console-only games in Game Pass that you can play on xCloud. That with xCloud coming to the PC, you will now be able to play on the PC and not even have to own an Xbox console.
Yep.
So xCloud is not the streaming from your Xbox.
Correct.
No. It is cloud streaming.
It's cloud streaming. But it's the same as if I booted up my Xbox, like a progress and save data, all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty into that.
But the only thing is, if I'm not mistaken, xCloud is limited to xCloud supported games on Game Pass. So you have to be subscribed to Game Pass.
Yes.
And it's not all of your games. It's only the xCloud supported games on Game Pass.
Okay. Correct. I'm okay with that. I'll let it fly for now, but I'll talk to my lawyer. That's very exciting. They just announced. I've been it's been on my wish list for a while. That Pillars of Eternity 2 Dreadfire. Is that Pillars of Eternity?
It's Pillars of Eternity. I just don't remember the
Path of Exile is the free one. I get those confused all the time because they're both PoE. That just came to Game Pass, but it came to Game Pass on consoles, which I don't feel is the way I want to play a CRPG, but maybe. But it's also by Obsidian, so I assume it's probably coming to PC eventually anyways. So I might as well not start it on.
It might already be on PC, and that's why they didn't announce.
Which also, PC Game Pass has like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. Like I forgot they announced those, and then they just like slowly put them out. I was like, it's crazy. Ian, anything you want to chat about?
Out of this news list, it was a kind of like a lot of mediocre news things that came out this week.
Yeah, it was nothing huge.
I don't want to talk about Bungie because I've lost faith in that studio. Let me touch on Codemasters joining the EA family real quick, because basically there was a rumor, well, not a rumor, it was fully confirmed that 2K was in talks to acquire Codemasters. Can you look that up real quick? Was that 2K or Take-Two? I can't remember. One of them was going to acquire Codemasters. Codemasters has a lot of racing games out of the UK, like the F1 series, Project Cars, etc. Also, I believe they also have Dirt. It's just kind of like a racing powerhouse for very good racing games across different racing genres. And long story short, EA came along, offered more money, and now EA officially owns Codemasters. I'm a little worried because EA does not do good racing games. They kind of just squandered the Need for Speed series lately. And Codemasters is geared towards people who actually care about racing games. They're not treating it like an arcade experience or a story experience. I want to play a game. I play the F1 games from Codemasters because they're very good and I follow that sport, and they're also great sim racing games. Played some of the Project Cars. So I'll just throw it out there. I'm worried, guys. You guys got any instances like that where you get worried about a studio being acquired or making big moves?
I mean,
like that?
Anytime EA buys anyone?
Yeah.
Fair point.
Literally anyone. BioWare has gone down the tube since acquisition. Maxis, I think, has gone down since acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I think the only one that was acquired by them that isn't going downhill is Respawn.
Yeah, but they've been like yanked around a bit, because they basically got Titanfall 3 is not going to happen.
I mean, even then, they've been churning out gold since being acquired. Like, even if it didn't sell fantastically, Titanfall 2, from what I've played and heard, is fantastic. Apex Legends is fantastic. Jedi Fallen Order, I had buggy problems with that game and didn't enjoy it, but a ton of people love that game. So, like, I think they're doing really well, especially in comparison to the entirety of the rest of EA Studios.
Yeah,
that's true.
I do have one silver lining that I just thought of, though. Codemasters does racing games. EA still does Star Wars games. Is it time for Pod Racer 3?
Is it time for Lego Racers 3? The answer is yes.
I don't know.
WB
I know, it's not.
If you're Disney, I don't know that you give them that license.
I don't know. Disney's going a little weird right now, where they're kind of like, we're not going to keep it just with EA, but we'll let people make whatever they want, because there are still EA Star Wars games coming.
Yeah, they were already in development,
like Star Wars Hunters.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's not EA, that's Zynga though.
I know. I'm just excited about it.
Which is worse. So I'm like,
Star Wars Farmville, guys. Yeah, the only recent acquisition that kind of bummed me out was the Vicarious Visions one, only because they were doing I'm a big sucker for games preservation, and they were doing a really good job of preserving video games in a remaster way, and I really like that. And it's sad that they won't be doing that anymore.
That wasn't an acquisition thing. Like, Activision owned them for like ever.
Right. I guess it was more of like a...
they moved them to do other stuff.
Takeover.
They murdered them.
Listen, the technicalities for my sadness take no effect here.
I just to say the opposite real quick. We didn't talk about this, but the Embracer Group recently acquiring Gearbox gives me hope that maybe Randy Pitchford will finally get fired now that he can be fired. Fingers crossed.
If you don't get fired after your USB stick with female porn, I don't know why I said female porn. It was regular porn. Cam girl porn, it was specifically. On it, I don't know how you don't get fired. But I guess if you're in charge, that's how you don't get fired.
Yeah.
She was a magician.
God. Yeah, and then you admit to it in an interview, trying to describe it and explain it. You did things that were magic, and I'm a magician, so of course I was interested in watching it.
Of course I got off to it, but it wasn't why I was watching it. Okay. speaking of getting off, Blizzard doesn't get off on this one because they sent out their press kits early, like a smart person. And Wowhead got a hold of it. And guess what? The Burning Crusade is coming, folks. Get ready. Burning Crusade coming to WoW Classic. I didn't read through the whole thing, so I don't know if it stipulates. Are they adding Burning Crusade Classic to WoW Classic, or are they adding Burning Crusade Classic servers to WoW Classic?
I think it's the first one, but they said they will have some WoW Classic servers that will not have the expansion on them.
Honestly, this is I caught a bit of you talking about this on the Around the Monitor, which I kind of agree with you, where it's literally Blizzard re-releasing a thing they already released again. But the only thing that makes me excited about that is I didn't start playing WoW until I think right after Wrath of the Lich King came out. So like being able to play and experience as a like new thing comes out is pretty incredible. So I think I might I dive back into WoW every year because I'm a horrible person. But I think I might dive back into WoW Classic, like level up a character and kind of like maybe get into Burning Crusade when that comes out, because that could
Crusade
be fun.
was, I mean, just speaking honestly, Burning Crusade's when I started playing, fantastic game.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. Raids in that, some of the best.
Gotta double check when I think it was right. It must have been right after Wrath of the Lich King, because I know I bought Cataclysm, but I remember the Lich King stuff was new. I should check that. But anyways, I have a weird relationship with World of Warcraft, where I'm making up for all the time my parents wouldn't let me play it by playing it now and spending $15 a month like a crazy person. Although, thank you, Blizzard, because I paid $15 to do one episode of Server Quest, and then you tried to charge me another $15 before I canceled, and I emailed for a refund, and you gave it to me. Like, nice people.
What's Server Quest?
It is our hot live stream show where we play through the history of all MMOs. It's very good. It was born out of the idea where we were going to play EverQuest a bunch, 1999 EverQuest, and then we decided it's a terrible game. We're not going to play it.
20 minutes into the first episode, we had to rework the entire series.
That entire conversation is in the first episode of us going, how do we pivot this?
Because this is not good.
It was like, it was a perfect storm of bad game. Yeah, I'm excited about that. What else do we have here? Anything else? The IKEA details a new gaming product line. It's not coming to America yet.
Yeah, but this was the first time they started talking about specific products and specific prices, and it actually seems pretty good. It seems like they're offering some gaming chairs, which I normally don't care about gaming chairs, except sometimes they are a little better than normal office chairs. They have some gaming chairs.
Don't buy the gaming chairs. Do not buy the gaming chairs.
It depends.
No, they ruin your back. Do not buy it. 25. Don't buy a gaming chair.
They have some for like $120 as opposed to like the $500 or $600 that people are charging way too much for. And they also have some other cool things, like they had a ring light for like $5 with a phone stand included in the ring light. So they have some streamer specific stuff that's pretty nice. I just thought it's worth bringing up because it feels like the gaming merchandising and furniture market is just way overpriced right now. And even though I don't care about 99% of that stuff, there are one or two things I wouldn't mind buying out of that market. And it's hard to find good things at a cheap price. So seeing IKEA come in.
They have a clamp-on cup holder, guys.
Yeah. And they have a couple cool headphone stands and stuff like that. And they're at IKEA prices. So
yeah, and they have LED strips. I mean,
and they have those good pegboards too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is some good cheap stuff in there. Along with some stupidly overpriced stuff as well.
Yes, always. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of IKEA stuff because I'm upgrading my IKEA DIY desk to an L-shaped desk when I move. So I need to find the right amount of IKEA hacks to make this thing good. And there's a perfect IKEA thing that isn't sold in America, so I have to figure something else out, which kind of sucks. But hopefully this stuff comes over soon, because some of that looks cool, like the casters for just to put on the bottom of your PC case is kind of cool, like a little stand for
Oh
that.
yeah.
Especially if you're moving around a lot while you're gaming.
Actually, we're not even just moving. It's a nice, easy, cheap solution to bring your PC off the ground a little bit, because if your PC's in carpet, there's typically a bottom vent that gets blocked. So that's an easy way to lift it.
And if you're a psychopath like me who did VR, but it didn't work in the same room as you had your PC and you moved it around a lot, those wheels would be really nice.
Just get an extension cable for the power and then strap it to just ride it like a little pony. That's perfect. Figured it out for you. Anything else piquing your interest here, gentlemen, as we reach the 1 hour mark?
Just funny. Rainbow Six Quarantine's new Parasite, even though last week everyone was like, it's Rainbow Six Parasite. I just think this is funny. They're like, no, that's an internal name. It's probably still Rainbow Six Parasite.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think Rainbow Six Quarantine is a horrible name. Even
for the current time.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% for the current times. Like in 10, 15 years when people are talking about it, like, oh, why do they care so much? And it'd be like, well, you had to be there when it was happening to be like, oh, that's not a great name. But Parasite is a pretty good option. It's not, but someone had a good joke of like, I hope they announce that it's Parasite and then like some flesh-eating parasite takes over at some point.
Cordyceps starts infecting humans.
Oh, God. Let me wrap up here. Did anyone watch the Mortal Kombat trailer?
No.
Yeah, look cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. My only reservation was the "get over here" at the end was like muffled.
I mean, listen. That movie gonna be good? No. Is it gonna be worth watching? Absolutely.
Last time Ian was here, we watched the Mortal Kombat movie, didn't we?
We watched the first one and it was not good. It was barely enjoyable. And it's funny because now like everybody keeps saying like, oh, one of the best video game movies of all time is the first Mortal Kombat movie is really good. And it's like, no, somebody who just watched it for the first time last year. No, it's not.
It's not.
The real question is the Mortal Kombat movie or the Monster Hunter movie gonna be better?
Ooh. I heard
Mortal
not
Kombat.
bad things about the Monster Hunter. It came out, right?
I think it's a
so.
$20 digital buy right now.
It was in
Wait, is
some
it
theaters. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, it's out. It's out now. And it's also digital, but the problem is you can't rent it right now. You have to buy it.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think it just
Hey,
came
there's
out.
a great
in December. What?
There's a great
It's
website where you can buy
International.
things for free. You can buy movies for free on this website. I'll send it to you later.
I know.
The Mortal
I didn't know it even came out.
It's supposed to be real awful.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a Jezebel article all about how they couldn't believe that Chun-Li wasn't in the Mortal Kombat trailer. And then
It's like update. Wait. Chun-Li is not in Mortal Kombat. Wow.
everyone's like, just delete the article.
They're getting too many viral clicks. People hate clicking it.
Oh,
They couldn't get rid of it.
I could not believe. I was dying. Even I know Chun-Li's not in Mortal Kombat, and I'm an idiot. I think that's gonna do it, gentlemen. I think we've hit the end of the news.
I think so.
And so with that, I'm gonna play the outro music. Where is it? Oh no. There we go. There we go. Folks, thank you for tuning in to this week of Local Chat, episode number 7. David, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Fun as always.
Yes, it was great to have you. Chris said we had started a tradition where you come on the week after he comes on, which I don't like because I don't want Chris on the show anymore. So you'll just come on it instead.
Honestly, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
You'll be on 2 weeks in a row.
I do have to get Zach on the show at some point. Both my brother and both Save Data Zach. I know he mentioned he edits your podcast or your episode right after it, so he hasn't been able to. But someday I'll get you on this. Ian, thank you for joining me as well. As
Thank you for having
always. Ian asked me the other day if What did you say? Answer it honestly. Do you
I
want me
said-
on every
I said-
episode?
I said, I need an honest answer. I know this is your show. Is it okay if I'm on every episode? Because I love being on every episode.
I was like, sure. I hate it, but if it makes them happy, folks, it makes them happy. Join us on Saturday at 3 p.m. My brother and I will be playing Valheim, checking that hot new game out. Possibly Ian will be there not playing Valheim. We'll have to see. What else do we got? Not much else. Sunday, more Resident Evil 7. I will be playing with Chris and Karen, so check that out. We killed Jack that last time, even though we did the boss fight for 45 minutes because you have to kill him with the chainsaw and the game doesn't tell you that. So that was fun. Until then, I have been Will. You can find me on Twitter at Hunt270. The music ended, so I have to end this. It's subpixelfilms.com. I went too slow.